Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. And Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawada from the Men of Valor campaign, Greenville, South Carolina. Coming back with another video in sincerity and in truth, and Lord willing, it can be edifying. All right, and as a lot of news is coming out, mainly from the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, all right, which deals with the immediate territory or structure, whatever you want to call it. All right, basically America, man. America, Babylon the Great. It deals with its security, right? Homeland security. This is the homeland. All right, this is where America, the base of America is. All right, and they've been warning that Russia could potentially perform a major cyber attack on U.S. infrastructure. All right, now it could be two things. It could be authentic, all right, from Russia, or it could be a false flag. You know, even though the United States have been claiming that Russia's going to pull a false flag, all right, it could be America pulling that false flag. It wouldn't be the first one, right? And it would absolutely devastate, all right, these damn Americans, man. All right, and the world, because it wouldn't just affect America, all right? It would affect the entire world. But see, you know, when most of this stuff goes on, all right, to these damn peon-ass Americans, man, they don't really care because it doesn't affect them directly. But we're going to look at this video, all right, which is titled The First 24 Hours of a Global Cyber Attack. All right, and these protected-ass Americans are going to see just how, all right, much they really are vulnerable. You know, how easily they can be touched, man. All right, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, you know, Lord willing, we know that he's going to bring destruction, all right, on a proportion that has never been seen before. Like I just read in Jeremiah 30. All right, major famines, water shortages, you know, the economic system crashing. All right, all these things, man. All right, and since they're warning about a major cyber attack, an attack on the electric grid, an attack on, you know, the internet, you know, just how much this would affect everything, which, you know, we don't know if this is necessarily going to happen yet, but man, you know, the scriptures definitely line up. All right, when it says it's going to be a time like never before, this is something that can roll that, go ahead and roll that out, man. All right, but without further ado, man, I'm going to stop it here and there to bring out scriptures, but I'm going to let this play.
Reports emerge that hospitals around the country are being hacked. Patient data is being compromised. Full medical records can garner as much as $1,000 by identity thieves on the black market due to their comprehensive nature. But in this case, the malicious code doesn't seem interested in harvesting data so much as it does destroying it. Hackers have scrambled medical software and corrupted registry systems. Patient records are being destroyed. This is impacting medical workers' ability to treat patients, to perform surgeries, and to administer the proper medication. The suspicious thing is...
And the fact that they're talking about, you know, the hospitals are overran again, you know, dealing with, you got people that's dying of this thing, man. All right, or even people that's really in there for certain reasons. All right, they're injured or whatever. Okay, this is how this would affect them.
No ransom has been demanded. This is leaving people perplexed at what the motivation could be for such a heinous attack. Customers complain of widespread disruptions in the banking system.
And it's funny that they started in the morning, man. All right, think about it. People, especially on the East Coast, all right, they be getting up, all right, to go to their bullshit ass job, to start their bullshit ass day out. All right. And they would start off with, issues with, the hospital industry. Then when people start waking up, they're gonna, like it's about to mention, all right, having issues with their banking. All right, now most of us, unless you just keep your money in a sock somewhere, all right, in a drawer, all right, most of our money is direct deposited, all right, or we get a physical check, all right, into a bank account, all right, and we can access those bank accounts digitally, all right. If you have a debit card and you want to pull money out, you can go to an ATM or you can go to a branch and you can get your money.
People are having problems accessing their bank accounts. ATMs and debit machines are not working, causing chaos at many.
They're not working. So guess what that would cause? A run on the banks, man. You want to talk about inflation and hyperinflation? All right, these banks operate on a fractional reserve banking system, which means what? You go to your local Wells Fargo or Bank of America. All right, yes, that branch might have $2 million at that bank. However, they only have $100,000 maybe, or $200,000, all right, a small percentage of the actual amount of money that they have at that bank in physical money. And if you have everybody in that area, thousands of people attempting to go take their money out at once, guess what that would do to the dollar, man? It would crash it on site. On site, man. You want to talk about how this affects, all right, your personal life? What if you ain't get gas the night before? You can't pull your money out. You can't make digital transactions. You can't swipe your card. Then what? You can't buy food? And that's just the beginning, man.
Stores around the country. If all you have is a bank card and a credit card, you are SOL. Many trading apps and crypto exchanges.
And what is SOL? Shit out of luck, man. Shit out of luck. And and the troops haven't even started rolling yet, man. All right, this is just you getting up to. This is how easily your day-to-day life can and will be disrupted. And now it's about to deal with crypto. To those that think they about to get rich, all right, off the crypto. Now, of course, if brothers deal with it, we know we deal wisely with it. We know that all this shit's about to crash anyway, man. All right, you can make your shekels. You can trade it. All right, but you have people that literally put their all into the stock market, put their all into these cryptocurrencies. And even NFTs, man, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on NFTs, man. Damn pictures that's worth thousands of dollars. Digitalized pictures. Guess what if you can't access those things, man? You're going to have a lot of people offing themselves, man.
Succumbing to what some are calling a denial of service attack, but the real cause is unknown. The trading day on Wall Street has been halted as authorities try to assess the damage of these attacks and restore the impacted systems. However, panic was starting to take hold in the markets before trading was suspended, and rumors are starting to spread that this is a coordinated attack by another country. The threat of panic buying is already...
That's where Russia would come in, right? And I was looking at these different videos, and you have videos from years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago. This might have been something that been in the plans. They're just waiting on the right time to do it. And really, they're waiting on Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushua works on the minds of these kings and rulers, man. Nobody moves a muscle unless Yahweh Bashim Yahushua sanctions it. So, and we know all hell wouldn't break loose until, according to Revelations, the 7th chapter, about that number of servants of the Most High being sealed. Dealing with that 144,000, 12,000 out of each tribe.
In the air. Police departments around the country are being hit with massive malware attacks corrupting their databases, but not before stealing troves of department data, and their communication networks are being compromised. This is making it much more difficult to coordinate emergency services for the crises that are mounting in the wake of disruptions in the market and medical sectors. It now appears evident to everybody that this is a coordinated attack on NATO and its allies.
You see how this is lining up? This is from 7 months ago. Okay? You see how easily they could try to blame Russia for this? And best believe these elites, they don't want to deal with something that they cannot control. You know, so even if it is from Russia, it's a coordinated attack. They had demands maybe from the global elites to go ahead and do this. They want to crash this system to have a reason to bring about a new system. All right? A new currency dealing with that digital dollar and the MOTB, that CHIP, man. We see how all of this can roll together very quickly. They said what? NATO and his allies. Who's having an issue with NATO and his allies right now? Russia. And brothers have been doing videos, man. You see how this is coming together? Any day now, like a brother just did a video. Any day, there could be a major cyber attack. And this would be the effects of it, man. This is why we say, all right, which I'm going to grab a scripture, man. All right, I'm going to grab a scripture and then we're going to get back into it, man. Because, man, this is why we do what we do, man. All right, we got to get that blood off of our hands, man. All hell could break loose at any moment. Let's get this. Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 6, it says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. This is why we say don't wait to seek the Lord, man. Don't wait till tomorrow. Do it today. All right, if you're somebody new coming across this video, hey, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, repent, man. All hell is going to break loose soon. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. This ain't going to take no years and decades to come about, man. All right, we're in the time of the Lord's judgment now. Something like this, and they're threatening this, all right, could flip everything on his head in an instant, man. All right? In an instant. This is why we say seek the Lord while he may be found, man. Because one day you're going to get up, and what did it say, 10:55 a.m.? Jake, the average Jake, they ain't got a fucking job. No, ain't got no motive. I remember, I used to, not necessarily not have no motive, but back when I was a teenager, I wouldn't wake up till 1 o'clock in the afternoon on some shit. It wasn't until really the last couple of years that I would wake up, at a decent time. But say you got the average Jake waking up at 12 o'clock. Or I'm going to watch this video tomorrow. Or I'm get into it tomorrow, man. Right now I'm going to roll this blunt. You might wake up and the internet is off, man. Everywhere. You think the prophets of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai going to continue to be out on the highways and byways when all hell is breaking loose? No. All right, the famine of hearing the words of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is going to come to pass as well, man.
Hackers appear to have taken control of many surveillance and security systems associated with government agencies, leaving these agencies locked out of these systems, prompting many to be shut down as a matter of national security. Rumor has it that top-ranking government officials are already being taken away to top-secret locations. Many water treatment facilities around the country are reporting that hackers are commandeering their systems and wreaking havoc on these systems by doing things like adjusting the level of chemicals used to treat the water, making the water toxic to drink.
Your damn water supply. All right? And that's one of the main things you need, man. You can go damn near a month without food. You can only go a few days without water, man.
This is causing forced shutdowns of these systems, and this is likely going to lead to water shortages. Natural gas and oil pipelines around the country have their software infiltrated and corrupted. In some places, serious damage is inflicted on the network, causing explosions in some refineries and pipelines. Companies are forced to shut these systems down entirely before more damage can be inflicted. This is likely going to lead to lengthy fuel shortages until these systems can go back online. Panic is now intensifying in what appears to be a full-scale coordinated attack on the critical infrastructure of most NATO countries and its allies. All flights are grounded and transportation grinds to a halt. Hackers have apparently uploaded malware to transportation networks, aviation networks, locomotive, cargo ships, subway stations, and even the personal vehicles of many civilians have been found to have dormant malware installed, which is now being activated, causing widespread commuter chaos. Reports of vehicles seizing up on freeways and having braking systems disengaged has led to total gridlock
All these motherfuckers with these Teslas, you know, like Boosie, he was sitting there when everybody else didn't have any fucking gas. You know, he's like, oh, I got my Tesla. Well, guess what? All right, you wouldn't be able to drive your damn Tesla.
In many major cities, numerous train derailments and subway accidents have been reported around the country. Navigational systems are also being compromised. And to make matters worse, even traffic lights in many major cities have reportedly been going haywire, adding to the pandemonium. Hackers have also targeted dams across North America. This has had the effect of disrupting the power grid, contributing to some blackouts in some localized areas, but it also is causing massive destruction of numerous sites that are now inundated with water from these dams. Many dams themselves have been permanently taken offline from the damage that they have incurred from this hack. Telecommunications networks across the country begin to go offline. Not only has millions of user data been stolen from their cell phones, but now their phones are being hacked with cryptic messaging alerting them that they have nothing to fear and that it will all be over soon. There are even some reports of phones exploding when people tried to charge them. It's alleged that hackers have misconfigured the firmware of the fast chargers to melt the internal components of the connecting charge systems when people go to plug in their phones. Hackers managed to penetrate large data centers of social media giants and cloud-based services, corrupting and in some cases outright destroying information. The social media footprint and online identity data of millions has been wiped out in an instant.
Oh, that would be funny right there. This is all within 24 hours. Like all these women, all right, with their OnlyFans, all right, these IG thoughts, everybody that thinks they somebody on social media, all right, all your damn followers will be gone in an instant, man. And there's been a lot of social media models or IG models that have off themselves because they ain't get enough likes. All right, you will see these damn IG thoughts, they will blow their fucking brains out, man. All right, these investors, they will blow their damn brains out because they done lost millions and billions of dollars, man. Hey, this is coming to you damn people, man. All right, it's well deserved. It's well deserved, man.
Hackers managed to take control of critical satellites that help regulate everything from GPS, electrical grids, satellite communications, and even transportation systems. Apparently, some of the satellites have had their thruster systems commandeered, and they're altering their course and crashing them into other satellites and military assets. We have now undoubtedly crossed the line into all-out war. Food distributors and private companies across the USA are locked out of their systems, leading to fears of widespread disruption in the distribution of essential commodities. Because 85% of the critical infrastructure in the United States is in the hands of private companies, mounting a coordinated effort at this point is effectively impossible. Governments are now in panic mode and are contemplating what type of military retaliation they are going to take on the perpetrators, who they now believe they have enough evidence to coordinate a multilateral counteroffensive. By this point, all levels of government, right up to the CIA, have had their systems infiltrated and compromised, making a coordinated response even more challenging. Things just keep getting worse. Military installations throughout the NATO alliance experience an onslaught of cyber attacks, leading military equipment to malfunction, disrupting communication systems, and in some cases even commandeering military assets like drones and controlling them. But that's not the worst of it, as there are fears that hackers are now targeting military defense systems and even intercontinental ballistic missiles. The internet itself has now been compromised as widespread denial of service attacks are waged on DNS hosts. This drastically limits the ability of people to communicate on the web. By this time, looting has run rampant as people's...
All right, another major thing that will come to pass, man. Let's grab this. Now, this is why, them getting into that, if it was to be that scale, that's what would make me believe that it was something that was a false flag, because Esau not going to take out his whole damn system, all right away, man. All right. Esau don't like to deal with shit he can't control to an extent. Okay. Let's get this. in Amos 8 and 11. Amos chapter 8, verse 11, it says, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, even though those days will come too. It says, but of hearing the words of the Lord. How are the words of the Lord being heard? Well, if you're listening to this video, that's how. By way of YouTube and the internet. All right, something like a major cyber attack, you wouldn't be able to get. We wouldn't be on YouTube no more, man. All right, what you got is what you got, essentially. And the best believe the Lord is about to hide his men. Because what did they say right after that? Major looting would take place, man. And that's when people are going to try to figure out what's going on. All right, verse 12, it says, And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. Then you're going to wish you got right. All that scoffing and mocking that's been going on lately, man. All right, you're going to wish you had got right. Let me go on back. Let's go back.
Governments are now in panic mode and are contemplating what type of military retaliation they are going to take on the perpetrators, who they now believe they have enough evidence to coordinate a multilateral counteroffensive. By this point, all levels of government, right up to the CIA, have had their systems infiltrated and compromised, making a coordinated response even more challenging. Things just keep getting worse. Military installations throughout the NATO alliance experience an onslaught of cyber attacks, leading military equipment to malfunction, disrupting communication systems, and in some cases even commandeering military assets like drones and controlling them. But that's not the worst of it, as there are fears that hackers are now targeting military defense systems and even intercontinental ballistic missiles. The internet itself has now been compromised, as widespread denial of service attacks are waged on DNS hosts. This drastically limits the ability of people to communicate on the web. By this time, looting has run rampant, as peoples whose finances are dependent on digital exchanges and the internet to coordinate these financial activities have had to resort to theft to get supplies for what everybody knows is
I'm gonna play a little bit more.
Coming. Within the span of a day, everybody...
Which, once again, we know that those missiles aren't going to get shot off until the MOTB, is fully implemented, okay? Which is, once again, why I believe that it's going to be something that's probably controlled, right? To basically do away with this current system and bring about that new system. But I want to get this, because hey, who going to work that day, man? All right, best believe not even the policemen. All right, they're going to be worried about their family. All right, they're not going to be worried about protecting and serving then. Let's get this. Widespread looting, pillaging. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15. It says, verse 14, it says, woe to them, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right, destruction to the world, man. All right, and them that dwell therein. This is something that's going to be a worldwide thing, because best believe if it's happening here, it's going to happen, all right, in other places as well. All right, because everything pretty much runs through America, Babylon the Great. It says, 15, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. What's the modern day sword? The gun. All right, there's going to be, those civil wars are going to pop off, class wars. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. All right, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, man. They're going to have to enact martial law. They're going to activate FEMA. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So, you got the most macho of men. All right, these soldiers, they're not going to know what the fuck hit them, man. That's why we read Jeremiah 30. It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turning into paleness, man. All right, this is the power of Yahweh Bashmi Awashai. And if you're not on his good side, your ass will not be protected in that day, man. That's why we send in the warning. Because the men of the Lord, all right, through the Spirit, they're going to be good. The Lord is going to make a way. He's going to provide for his elect. But as for everybody else that scoffed, that mocked, that was disobedient or outright rebellious, man, your ass is grass. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All hell then broke loose. So a man's not going to have pity upon his neighbor. Damn, I ain't go to the grocery store. I ain't get no waters, but you got some waters. We about to take your water. We about to take your food. And maybe even your wife and kids. Ain't going to be no damn integrity in that day. Everybody's going to be every man for themselves, man. Let's go back. Let's finish this off.
It's talking about rumors of another global conflict. The final nail in the coffin comes when many electrical grids around the world have been taken offline, their IT infrastructure destroyed, disabling some systems and causing some nuclear facilities to even go into meltdown. Millions are left in the dark without supplies, without emergency services, without fuel, and NATO and its allies are now indefensible on many fronts. World War III has begun. The scary thing is that the above scenario is entirely plausible and likely doesn't do justice to what a true full-scale cyber war would look like on the ground. The most powerful countries in the world have amassed massive cyber arsenals just waiting to be unleashed for such a scenario. Right now, these attacks are usually coupled with ransom demands, locally isolated incidents, and limited in their scope. But in the case of an all-out attack,
what do you think they perform Cyber Polygon for? All right, which is a simulation of what would happen if something like this was to go down. All right, the same reason they did Event 201, bringing about a global pandemic, right? So do you not think they have this in their plans, man? Now, when they do it or not, that's all up to the Lord. All right, man's goings of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? All right, but best believe this is something that's on the table. This is something that the elites have planned.
Damage that could be inflicted would be apocalyptic. This is why it may go down. All software has bugs. Hackers refer to these as vulnerabilities. These are potential gateways for hackers who want to create a disruption, steal data, or outright destroy the systems that the software is founded upon. The problem is, the more technology pervades and integrates into every aspect of our lives, the more access points or points of entry there are for hackers, and thus the more vulnerable we become to cyber attacks. The more smartphones, the more smart watches, and the more access points to the internet, the more vulnerable we become. Once a vulnerability is known about, it can be patched and secured. But the problem is that millions of these bugs exist in critical systems that we rely on every day around the world. And as the Internet of Things evolves, hackers have more access points than ever before. Nations around the world have been probing their opponents' systems and stockpiling their best cyber weapons, which are built on these vulnerabilities. Some of these are called zero days. A zero day is a notably serious software vulnerability that many nation states around the world are amassing for such a scenario. It's likely that in the preemptive stages of a full-scale global war, an onslaught of cyber attacks would attack the critical infrastructure that keeps us all alive. What's even worse is that nation states and independent hacking groups can install dormant code on these critical systems to be unleashed in a time of war, causing major disruption of services. That means that right now there might be malicious code on your devices just waiting to be unleashed when the time comes. Imagine a scenario where hundreds of thousands of malicious attacks are waged all at once, and because there is no clear-cut protocol on how to respond and plausible deniability with respect to who is doing it, waging a counteroffensive would be significantly delayed. The ensuing social panic and fallout of such a scenario would be impossible to quantify, but it's one more reason that everybody needs to be prepared. The best way to protect yourself from such a scenario is to strive to be as self-reliant as possible. This means limiting your dependence on digital technologies, having a way to generate your own electricity, protect your home and the people in it, and have an ample stockpile of food and resources. If you want to know how to get prepared for scenarios like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel and check out our extensive library of what we call Blue Strip videos, which go into great detail about emergency preparedness topics. The threat of cyber warfare is at an all-time high, and we need to be prepared for the big one. Thanks for watching. Stay vigilant. The strong survive. The prepared thrive. Canadian Prepper out.
And that's a big, man, this is a big possibility with what they have going on with Russia right now, because they need that scapegoat. All right. Once again, I feel like through the spirit, it would be very controlled, you know, as to how far they would go with it. They definitely want to get us off the internet, man. They definitely want to mess up people's communication, all right, amongst each other. But I want to finish off with this. Where is it at? Slot. This is one of my favorite ones. Second Esdras 8 and 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, meaning this time right now, all right, we're close to the end, says shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Once again, that's like I said earlier in the video. You people deserve what you have coming to you, man. All right, these people are proud as hell, man. These women are all proud. You think you're going to be proud in that day, man? All right, when you can't get on, because, hey, most of these women, their lives revolve around social media. You know? How you going to deal with fighting off people trying to get in your house, taking all your food and food stamps and, you know, the food you got from your food stamps and shit? You going to realize you need a man of Yahweh Shem Shah, man. Not just any man. All right, because these men going to be out here through, too. They're not going to know what the hell to do. Everybody going to be through out here, man. All right, but the people of Yahweh Shem Shah, the elect, man. Because the Lord is going to preserve us. That's why, hey, in Daniel 12, the Lord's going to send Michael. That's how bad it's going to get. You know, it's going to get bad out here. Words can only describe, man. But we're ever so close. That's why we say, once again, seek Yahweh Shem Shah while he may be found. Get all that you can get now. All right? Because when the Lord closes that curtain, man, that closes that door of repentance, man, it's over with for you damn people. All right? So Lord willing, this is edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shah by Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.